guys, it's Jody, Toy-Addict. Today I wanted to share a video of some of the things that have sold recently on my eBay store, and I've had some really great sales, which is fantastic because sales have really been slow. I mean, some are slow down, obviously. It's kind of always there, but ooh. If you're new to my channel is very eclectic. I'm a toy collector, so I have almost 100 videos about strawberry shortcake, which is what I collect. I am, and I collect other things too, so I have lots of other little videos of my other collections. Plus, I am a reseller. You probably know that. That's probably why you're here. And sometimes I find completely awesome rare toys that I just want to show you. And then sometimes I have reseller videos where I talk about, like for instance, I might show a really cool toy, and then I have a little icon on my thumbnail that says reseller notes, and that tells you that near the end of that video there's going to be some information about finding that item, how to sell that item, whether it's worth it or not to sell that item, how to do research on that item, stuff like that. And I've been selling on eBay since eBay was auction web. So before eBay was eBay, but I haven't been full-time very long. I always did it part-time, and mostly here during the pandemic I went completely full-time because I'm also a substitute teacher, but that hasn't been a thing lately. So I'm pretty much just full-time now, and I sell mostly toys, but all kinds of other stuff too. So as you'll see in here, anything I find that I think I can make some money on, I will sell. So now that that introduction is out of the way, let's get to what sold. All right, so this first item, and I'm starting at the top. No waiting to get to the end of the video. I am starting at the top. This first item is a Buddy Lee doll. Now I actually made a separate video for him, and it is a short, so it's just about 1 minute and quick to watch. I talk about how the type of doll he is, how to find out that he's worth the most, and etc. So you might want to check out that video. I paid $37.50 for him at an estate sale. I listed him for $500, and he sold in about 45 minutes for $500, and they have gotten him now and are happy with him, so yay. He is pretty awesome. He was not in perfect condition, as you can see there. He's got some crazing and some cracks. Go check out that video to find more about him. This is an action figure. She's about, well, it says here she's 3.75 inches tall, so she's about the same size as a G.I. Joe from the 80s, if you remember those, or if you ever had Indiana Jones action figures, that's the size she is. She's not in the greatest of shape. Her nose was messed up. She's got a lot of marks on her. She's missing her skirt. She has a white skirt, and she sold for $125. She had a Lucasfilms logo on her, and so I thought, well, this is definitely not Princess Leia, so I'm not sure who this is. And as it turned out, it was Marion Ravenwood. So if you can find her or her monkey, she has a little monkey that goes with her, she sells for pretty good money. Vintage Rainbow Hearts twin size comforter, 80s kids bedding. So this was a kids comforter from the 80s, sold at Sears. I went to an estate sale that had a whole lot of bedding and a whole lot of sheets and a whole lot of towels, and I also did a video on that I will link here too. And I bought like one of those, plastic comforter bags, those big bags. I bought that had I thought was one comforter and a sheet in there, and it actually turned out to be 2 comforters and a sheet. So I sold each of the comforters for $100, And then the sheet was a flannel sheet, and I believe I got 20 for that, for the sheet. And I paid $5 for the whole bag. $5 turned into $225. So that was nice. Also at that same sale, also in that same video, I got this Kittens full-size Young at Heart comforter and sheet set from Sears. It's from the 80s. 5-piece, so it was the comforter, it was fitted in the flat sheet, and then 2 pillowcases. And that's, I also bought this, plus there were some extra sheets and pillowcases in with it that were the same style. And I got that also for $5, and then this sold for $65, and I believe I still have the other sheets. This next item is a strawberry shortcake doll. Now, I have talked many times about really knowing what you have for sale. This doll I bought in a strawberry shortcake lot from somebody. I probably paid about $15 for it. This specific doll, her head is vinyl. So most strawberry shortcake rag dolls are cloth, as most rag dolls are. But this one has a vinyl head. You can see here the glue was coming off, so her head wasn't as attached as well, and someone had re-glued it and did a really terrible job. She has a couple of stains on her, and so because of all that, she only sold for $95. But she could have sold for about $125 to $150 because this is a much rarer strawberry shortcake rag doll. And you know, it's hard. You just can't know everything. I realize you can't know everything. Even if you do research, if you don't know what to look for, you don't know what to look for. It's fine. You know, we all make those mistakes where we sell something, you know, it sells quickly or whatever, and we think, shoot, did I sell that too cheaply? And I have definitely seen that happen where people will list these just as a strawberry shortcake rag doll, and you know, they sell for $30 or $40, which is still great if you only paid $1 or $2 at a garage sale, but you could get much more. Marmalade Boy Ultimate Scrapbook Volumes 1 through 4 DVD. So this is anime. This is an anime. I'm not an anime person at all, but I saw these at a garage sale and I looked them up real quick, and it was like a pay what you want, and so I offered $10 for this, and then another DVD set also of Marmalade Boy, and I listed these for $100, and they sold really quick. Okay, this is a Red Witch Tiki mug from Monk Tiki. If you're looking at tiki mugs, some are really valuable and others are not. Some are limited edition, etc. If you find something from Monk Tiki, they are a very famous tiki mug making brand. And so a lot of, not all, just like everything else, but a lot of their mugs are pretty valuable. This one I actually bought brand new at one of the Monk Tiki retailers here in town. I paid $25 for it, and I sold it for $60. All right, this next item, this is a planter. So you can kind of see, let's see from the side here, you can kind of see that it's a planter. Back there you can see. Now this planter, I bought it in an estate sale recently, and there weren't any other ones listed. There was this company that is by Inarco. Most of their planters sell for about $20. But I thought this one was really cute. I thought it would look really cute here in my cotton candy cottage, my reseller shed. And so I decided I would price it really high and just hope that it would take a while for the person to come along who would want to pay $50. Guess what? About 3 hours. That's how long it took for someone to come along to pay $50. I was like, dang it. And you'll see a little bit later, that happened to me twice recently. Actually from planters from the same sale. Nope, this is a doll. This is Horseman, is a vintage doll company that They have some dolls that are pretty collectible. I'm not going to say they don't, but they also have a lot of dolls that they don't sell for a ton of money. But of course you want to look things up, as always. This doll, there wasn't any listed. There wasn't any that had ended recently. I had to kind of look around the internet to even find this doll. So I listed her for $55 and I sold her for $45. I took an offer of $45. Her box was pretty badly crunched on the back and on the sides. It was torn and whatnot. And as it turned out, the person who bought her didn't want the box. I cut some of the important things from the box, her nameplate and all that kind of stuff, and added that in, and sold her for $45. Paid $6 at a doll estate sale. I went to a sale and before I went to the sale, I was looking through pictures on the sale. I use estatesalefinder.com. That's one of my favorite estate sale searching websites. And some of the companies put a lot of pictures. And so you can really do some research before you go. And I saw this. I could only see just kind of the very top that said M232. That's all I could see. So I decided I would just kind of search it on eBay, and I could see the little swirl up here. I saw the M232, I saw that swirl, and I couldn't really tell that it was a bike tire. So I searched it on eBay, and it actually, after scrolling a little bit, it popped up and that they were selling for $40 to $60. So I was like, oh. So I figured, well, I'm not going to run right to these because there was a lot of other stuff at the sale that I was really interested in, but if they were still there when I was going through, that I would buy them. So I got 2 of these and I paid $3 each, and I sold both of them within about 2 or 3 days of each other for $50. This next item is a Le Sport sack, which you've probably heard of the brand. It's a pretty famous brand of purses that started in the 70s. They're like this nylon. They're really super lightweight. I love them. It's the kind of purse that I use. But this bag, I went to a estate sale and they had quite a few, and not all the sports sacks are created equal. Some patterns are better and more popular than others. And all of these bags also came with small cosmetic bags. So this one sold for $50. It sold pretty quickly. I actually kept the cosmetic bag because I really like the print. And I have another one. I'm not sure if I show it here, but I sold the cosmetic bag from another overnight bag of the same size. I just sold the cosmetic bag from that one for $15 as well. So they can do pretty well, but they are kind of hit and miss. So you do want to sort of look up the pattern. It's hard to know what the patterns are, but if it has something like this with boom boxes on it, you can look it up pretty easy. And they do have a lot of crossover things. Disney ones, yes, pick them up. They have Sesame Street. They have Tokidoki. They have my Neighbor Totoro. So they have a lot of those crossover ones, and those ones usually do pretty well. So I paid $10, sold for $50. All right, here is another one of my strawberry shortcake items. This gal was in that same lot where it ended up being about $10 an item, and she has her whole outfit. She sold rather quickly for $50. I probably could have even put her at a little more because she's in such nice shape. But also, and I have a video on this, my mom went through and tightened up the elastic all the way around, because these usually have lost their booties, and her hat doesn't have elastic, but some of them have elastic in their hats, and the elastic just gets bad over time. There's a real easy way to fix that, and I have a video on that too. Now this one, I have never sold these before, but I see a bunch of resellers online buying and selling these, and I think Primetime Treasure Hunter, he sells a lot of these. So I saw this brand new in the box, still all packaged up and everything. Picked it up for, I believe, $8, and I sold it for $37.50 in about a week. So it sold pretty quick too. This is a Walkman style. It's not really a Walkman because Walkman is Sony brand, but RCA cassette player, personal cassette player in the package. Although the package was open. I actually bought 2 of these for $5 each. And this one, since the package was open, I was able to check them out. This one worked perfectly. The other one, not so much. So I still got $40 for, I'll say my original buy cost was $10, since I did buy both of them, but the other one not get sold because it didn't work. Although the headphones did work, so I do have the headphones still listed, but who knows with those, if anyone wants RCA headphones. Here's another one of my strawberry shortcake ones. Here she is. She's got her hat, again, fixed up, her little elastics. She doesn't have booties, $38.50, and she sold really quickly. So here's that other planter that I bought, that I was talking about, the rabbit one before. I thought listing this at $40 was absolutely the high end of this, even further than the high end of this. And I thought I'd be able to keep it for a while and eventually lower the price some or get an offer and sell it. Yeah, it sold in like an hour. So then that rabbit one I put up for $50, thinking the same thing, and then it also sold right away. So I guess price high. I don't know. This is a 16 millimeter film. I'm going to be doing a video here pretty soon about selling 16 millimeter films on eBay, because you don't have to have a projector to watch them and see if they're see how they are. You can just take pictures like this, and a lot of times the titles, people know what they are or what they're looking for. This one sold for $40. Crack the Big Lie. It's actually by Disney, and it's a movie about crack cocaine. So fun. But this one took a while because I had $40 on it. If I had less, well, actually I had $50 on it, I think. It would have, of course, like with anything else, if I had less on it, it would have sold faster. But and honestly, this movie, the 16 millimeter film, is available on YouTube, and it's not great. Sometimes those drug ones, they're funny or they're just so kitschy and weird, but this one is just not great, and that's probably why it took a while to sell, even though the title is really good. Crack the Big Lie. This is a set of Barbie Fashion Queen wigs. So it's kind of hard to tell here. You can tell better here. There's a little stand that the wigs are on. Let's see if I showed the stand. I did. The stand looks like this. So if you ever find this stand that has these weird white balls on it like that, that's actually Barbie Fashion Queen. And then these are the wigs. These pictures are horrible. I can't believe this sold as quickly as it did. But I actually picked this up at a sale. I spent a lot of money at this sale on Barbies and some other things. And so they threw this wig stand and the wigs in. Somebody else bought the Barbie and didn't take the wigs. So I bought this for sold this for $40. Vintage crayons, vintage pencils, vintage colored pencils, vintage markers. There's definitely a market for all of this. I bought these for $2. Now, usually what I look out for when I'm looking at vintage crayons, and crayons especially, is if they're all there, and they sell a lot better if they're unused. So you can see these kind of have some growth of some kind on them, or maybe just a little bit of dust, but they were all there and unused. And there is a not a website, a blog about crayon collecting. I can tell you the year of the crayons that you have. And so I paid $2 for these, sold them for $30. So I have sold a few of these, probably 3 or 4 of these over the years. This is called the Whole Earth catalog. So they had it, this is May 1974, but 60s and 70s, it's kind of I don't know what I would call like a hippie catalog where there's all kinds of different advertisement for things you can order through the mail, instructions to build a geodesic dome, and instructions on canning, and sort of the hippie internet in the 60s and 70s. Instructions just on building things and how to do some woodworking and survival and just learning about the cosmos and just all kinds of interesting things. And it's a big catalog. It's like probably 18 inches tall, and it's big and heavy. But it is interesting. And these sell. I've sold them between 30 to 45-ish dollars. This one went for 40. I paid $1 for it. When you do find these, they're usually, in somebody's bookshelf at an estate sale or at a garage sale, and people don't really think of them much as anything people would care about. So every time I found them pretty cheap. This is a set of die-cut prints, I guess you would call them. If you think about like the Halloween or the Easter or Christmas die-cut paper things, this is kind of like that, but for the classroom, probably for a kindergarten classroom. I bought these years ago, intending to use them in my own classroom because I was teaching kindergarten at the time, but then I was sharing a classroom and I couldn't really use them, and they've just been in my closet for years and years and years. And I think I paid 50 cents or something for them. Old classroom stuff that has characters on them, and of course, Disney stuff can do well, but these sold for $32.50. It took a while to sell them. Any kind of paper things and sometimes teacher things can be long tail, but I thought $32.50 was good for these. This was a Marilyn Monroe light switch cover. So as you probably know, there's been a lot of things Marilyn Monroe put out there in the market, and for a long time it was really popular to buy those, and then for a long time it was really not. And now some things are kind of starting to come up again with things like her and Elvis and stuff like that, but it has to be something unique. And this I thought was unique enough. I only paid $0.25 for it, so I thought even if it doesn't sell for much at all, it's still good. But it's all ceramic, and I just thought it was interesting. It would be a great addition to somebody's bathroom who likes the vintage 50s stuff. So it didn't even necessarily have to represent Marilyn Monroe. Anyway, it sold really quick for $25. These were fun. I picked these up a while back at an estate sale for $5, and they are very early 50s Disneyland memorabilia. They do have kids' names embroidered on them, which kind of hurts the value, but then again, all of these probably will, and they're baby size, but they are pretty rare, so about $35 was a pretty good price to get for those. I had put them on auction at one point. Actually, I think I cycled them through on auction twice, and they didn't sell, and so I just put a buy it now price on them and waited to find the right person. So this I wanted to show you. This is a $6 million man backpack crystal radio. This isn't something you're necessarily just going to find or recognize unless you look closely, because it does say $6 million man on it. Certainly most toys don't have their whatever their property is, $6 million man or whatever, printed right on it. So, but this was a good find. I paid $4 for this at an estate sale. This is one of those little, it's really small, maybe like a 2-inch, and it has one of those little bend down badges, which a lot of times that bend down part is snapped off because you bend it up and bend it down too many times and they just snap off. So I found this at a sale, and it was, I believe I paid 75 cents. And it's actually said on the back that it was from a Long Beach concert. There was like a little, yeah, see, there's a little tag. And somebody was selling it or bought it for $7. I'm not sure, but at any rate, I thought it was pretty neat, and I was surprised to see how much it was worth when I got home. I wanted to show this not only because this is a awesome sale, $30, but also because these cut and sew, that's what they're called, cut and sew, like fabric panels, where everything's printed for you, and sometimes they're Christmas ornaments, sometimes they're dolls, sometimes they're like character pillows, stuff like that. These can sell really well. There are ones that sell for up to $100. Most of them for me have been bread and butter, but I usually pick these up when I find them. Also because even at expensive estate sales, which is where I got this one, they're usually 50 cents, $1 at the most. And I don't think I've had one that I haven't been able to sell for $10. And then usually they go up, of course, from there. So this was a good character. This is not a character I'd ever heard of before, but it's called Fat Cat. And $30 they sold for, and they sold pretty quickly. And I had another set as well that was also Fat Cat with a slightly different design, and those ones sold for $35, but that was a while back, so not anymore. Also, this is a baby bottle, vintage baby stuff. Of course, people aren't using it for their babies now, or hopefully they're not, but vintage baby stuff can do really well. I paid $1 for this, sold it for $25, and it sold pretty quickly. I also had a smaller version of it, which I don't think I put on here, that I sold for $20. Also had its packaging and stuff, but you don't necessarily need the packaging. I mean, of course, if you have the packaging, you're going to get more money, but I could have sold the same bottle without the packaging for $10 to $15 too. So I also would have picked that up for $1. This is vintage oil of Olay. I just picked this up 2 weeks ago and just got them listed the other day, and within one day, one of them sold. It's just old, probably early 90s or late 80s oil of Olay in a glass bottle. And there's what it looks like. Probably it'll be used for props, or, somebody collects. I paid $4, and one sold for $25 already, and I still have another one available. I always go into the bathroom at estate sales because there's always stuff like this in there that nobody else picks up. And here's another example of that. This was from a different sale. I paid $1 for this. This is a tiny bottle. With ones like this, I not usually, but sometimes I'll actually hold it in my hand so you can see how small it is. This is 0.35 ounces when it's full. And it's not full. It's not even half full. And it sold for $30. So that was a good find. I wish I would have found it full, and I probably would have gotten 50. So this is a fun little item here. This is, and you have to put this in the title, Little Tykes dollhouse size 4-inch toy box with lid. So this is not a child size toy box. This is a doll size for the dollhouse, and it sold for $27.50. I bought a lot of like Fisher Price and Little Tykes and Play School stuff, And so I paid about $1 per item, and it sold really fast too for $27.50. You do have to mention, and I didn't reiterate it here, which I usually do, especially with the little tyke stuff, you have to mention dollhouse size and put in the actual measurements, because they make these in child size as well. So I have had the situation on several occasions. I'm talking at 4 or 5. People have bought something from me, paid $4.80 shipping or whatever the shipping is for their item, and then wanted to return the item because it wasn't child size. Even though I always put dollhouse size, the measurements, I used to put in big letters that like flashed when you could do HTML. This is dollhouse size, not child size. But, and I'm also surprised I didn't like put a Sharpie by it or something. That helps too. Because a lot of this little type stuff, they also make it in child size, so people don't read the titles and the descriptions, and they can be easily confused. Here's another bathroom item. Paid $1 for this. Sold right away for 20 bucks. 70s electric shave, full. I have a video that I talk about how you have to ship colognes and perfumes. They can't just ship regularly. They can't go any type of airmail. They have to be ground transportation, which means you have to use parcel post. And there's some stuff you have to write on the box. So you can look at my channel for that video. It's called How to Legally Ship Cologne and Perfume, something like that. Because there are some steps you have to take. You can't sell it internationally, etc. This I put on here because, so Disney stuff, obviously, we all know Disney stuff can do well, but there's a lot of Disney stuff that doesn't sell for very much as well. Disneyland stuff, though, specifically, is usually kind of a step up from that. This is a souvenir book, and I have sold several of these. Actually bought 3 from the same sale, and this one, and they were $1 each. This one's from 1981, so it's not the oldest, and it sold for $25. It took a while to sell this one, but it did sell. Again, with the vintage baby items, this was a character I had not heard of before, Hug Me Bear. It's from, I believe it's Montgomery Ward's or something, so maybe it was like one of their own brand. But it's a crib sheet, and I actually paid $5 for that. I didn't realize I had paid quite that much, but it sold for $21.01. I don't know why that price. Sometimes people offer prices specific so that with the shipping and the taxes, they can get a round number. Christmas sells all year long, and vintage funky Christmas sells well. These are 5 flocked mice in Santa hats. I bought this and 4 other sets of flocked animals: geese, dogs, bears, and I forget what the other one is. Anyway, I got a whole bag of them at Goodwill, and I just separated them out by the animals and listed them for 20 bucks each. And this was the first one to sell, so the whole bag was $5, so I basically paid $1 for this set and sold it for 20 bucks. This one now, of course, $15 isn't a crazy amount, but this is a little catalog, and it's got little fabric samples in it. I thought it was kind of neat. Oh, that was a terrible picture. But ephemera, I love to sell ephemera. I love it because, one, you can usually get it for pretty cheap. I got this for $1. And 2, you can ship it really easy. You just need one of those hardboard envelopes, which you can get with your eBay store credit for shipping supplies now. And I can make one banker's box of ephemera, and it has 200 or 300 items in it. So it's easy to ship, it's easy to store, it's easy all around. It doesn't take up a lot of space. So if you have space issues, ephemera might be your way to go. And sometimes ephemera sells for really good money too. Now this one was $15. I knew it wasn't going to be crazy, but I thought it was pretty neat. And then again, like I was saying before with the crayons, yes, of course, this isn't a high price, but vintage school supplies. This is an old school box. They don't do school boxes like this anymore. They have those plastic ones with the bubbles on them. All the kids have those. So, this is a nostalgia item that just doesn't exist anymore. I bought probably 6 of these at a garage sale with different characters and stuff on them. And this was my last one that sold. It took me a few months to sell this one. I don't know why. All the other ones sold pretty quick for 15 to 20 bucks. But this one just took a while. It's cute. I like the design on the bottom. Safety patrol. And then I just threw this and these last two in there because I did do a video recently about precious places and kind of showing off a haul that I had gotten. And I have reseller notes at the end of that video, but I wanted to show you this because I took this $30 lot that I bought of precious places and I parted it out. So this mansion, this precious places mansion, has all these pieces and parts that come apart, and they come apart easily. Nothing stays together very easy, so all these pieces are, go missing. But this is kind of a Commonwealth picker thing where he has things that he likes to part out. He says, when in doubt, part it out. And that is the truth with this one. These two are probably the 4th and 5th lots of things. I'm not getting high dollar from each of these items, but when I have put all the listings up for everything I bought in that $30 lot, if I was to get full price for each item, which I won't, I have offers turned on everything. I'll take offers on things. I have sales sometimes, so I won't get full price for everything, but the full price I have everything listed for from that $30 lot is $515. So I'm going to do well. I made my $30 back in the first 2 lots that I sold. And so everything else, is just gravy. And yeah, maybe it'll take a long time. Sometimes when you part out toys, you have to find the right person who collects that thing and needs that piece. And it could take a long time. But that's fine. I'll wait. I don't mind. I'm patient. I know some people want their things to sell in 30 days or 60 days or whatever. No, I don't mind waiting. I'll go even 5 years before I give up on this stuff and, take the rest of it to Goodwill. I might even wait longer than that. I'm sure it's probably going to have sold by then, but but I am patient. List it and forget it. That's what I do. All right, guys. Well, this is everything. Not everything I sold for, certainly not, but just some things I wanted to bring up, show you some good bolos to look for, and check out some of those videos I mentioned if you haven't seen them yet. And thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to comment down below if you've sold any of these kind of things, and give the video a thumbs up. Takes only a second, really helps me out. And subscribe too if you're not subscribed. I do lots of reseller content and all kinds of other content too. So follow me along on my very eclectic journey. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.